Hi, I'm Tandy Gutierrez, and this is your 3-day wellness forecast. This is for December 24th, 25th, and 26th. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy KWANZA. So, hello holiday time. These card readings are 3-card readings, 3 card pulls. 1 card for your body, 1 for your mind, 1 for your spirit. We go through them to see what the energy forecast is for those things for these 3 days. I give a few recommendations on how to balance that in your body and in your life, and just pass along any messages, omens from the guides and guardian angels that hopefully are of use to you and help you evolve into your best life and into your best self, right? So I very much teach a triangle of wellness of body, mind, and spirit, that our true wellness comes when we can get those in balance, and they don't all come at the same time, right? We're interested at different times, it's appropriate at different times, but the reality is our body and ourselves are ever evolving, right? That's why we're here. We're here to go from infant to toddler to child to preteen to teen to 20-something into our adulthood, and each step is an evolution, and an evolution should really denote better as you go along. So if you're constantly looking and digging and connecting to things, then you have the tools to evolve. Otherwise you get stuck. When you get stuck, you're not happy. There's depression, there's illness, there's a lot of sadness, there's stuck energy, right? You've got jobs that you don't love when things are stuck, and you've also got things are dropping out of clouds today. I'm gonna grab that. That was a big old pack. Don't worry about those. Those aren't magic ones. That was just me fumbling. When you've got stuck energy, that's a halt in evolution. Okay, so the goal is to raise your vibration, to increase the good energy in your life, to keep things moving and brewing and going so that you can evolve, so that you can learn more, so that you can shine brighter and have more joy and show up better in the world. So that's what these card readings are here for, is to give you little messages and little signals and little signs that go, yeah, you're on the right path, or here's the little piece you needed in order to understand it. Please remember that they're general readings for all of my fans, subscribers, and members on the site, on the website. If it doesn't ring true and doesn't resonate and you go, Tandy, I have no idea what you're talking about on that one, it's not for you. I get little messages, I get emails, I get long emails from you guys all the time of like, that was totally, the whole thing was for me. So just understand that, some of these messages are going to be for you, some of them aren't. I do meditate every time before we do these readings. I say a little prayer and I ask that my guides and guardian angels send me messages that I can pass along clearly to you to help you evolve and live your best life. Whew. December 24th, 25th, and 26th, here we go. Let's see where you all are at. 3 cards, I'll show them to you as we go. Whoa! Okay, here we go. If you saw yesterday's, it was actually a really lovely, grounded, very bright space. These 3 days are not. But dark spaces bring what? Way more light, okay? So hang in there. So for your body, 9 of Swords. All of these cards today are very black and white, little creepy crawly, okay? 9 of Swords. Okay, 9s are like karmic endings. Like these are, you are finishing stuff up, kind of hell or high water. So like, all right. 9 of Swords. All of the creepy crawlies are coming out. So there is actually a lot of light on this card, and there are eyeballs in here seen from the ick and the muck, right? Okay, so you've got to really look at the icky places before anything can get better. So this is the card for your body. So yesterday I was feeling pretty grounded and pretty like, nurtured and good, bolstered. Those were the last 3 days in that last reading. This one now is like, oh man, you got to look at those dark, creepy crawly, what's the muck in there in the body, okay? What are the things that you're typically trying to hide and stuff down and that you don't want to look at? They are not going to stay stuffed anymore, especially if you watched the last reading. If you want that magician card, if you want those bright beginnings, if you want the manifestation of your biggest, wildest dreams, you got to look at the dark stuff. You got to get in with the creepy crawlies, look from the inside out and go, what is it time to get rid of? So swords are your intellect and your mind, and we always want to be grounded and rooted there and balance that with our divine energy and the sparkles and the magic, right? So if you're not willing to get into the ick, what are you hiding? What have you been stuffing down in your physical body? Are there some habits that are still hanging on that you need to just knock it off? Like kill them, gut them, throw the flashlight on them, see where they are, scare out of the icky ickies, and then, you know, move on. So the earthworms, right? Like this is like way down deep. So this has to do with your physical body, and that you need to really look at the things that you're hiding, but this is actually a blend. So you all need to hear that what you physically manifest in the world is a representation directly of what you are mentally brewing, okay? So this to me is like all this deep dark stuff that you have believed to be true about your body, that you were told to be true, that you were sold to be true about it, that it's not healthy, that it's not vibrant, that it can't be this way without doing X, Y, and Z, or beating it up or filling it with supplements and synthetic things. That's not true. But you have to look at those things. You have to shine the flashlight on them, and then you got to pull out all the swords and knock them out, right? Sometimes you got to warrior for yourself. So you got to get deep into the uck. So even though this is your body card, this has everything to do with your mind. All of the icky ickies back there, the creepy crawlies inside in the back of the eyeballs, that's what I'm getting here, is that you've got to go in, turn that flashlight on, be totally honest, and be very cutthroat about, do you want to have your best life? Do you want to be thriving? Do you want wellness and joy and vibrance and healing? If you don't, then tuck them all back in there, let them keep crawling around. But if you do want your best wellness and your best vibrance, you got to pull out those warrior swords of intellect and start hacking them off, right? And moving on. That was very intense. You guys are holding on to a lot of old junk in there. Okay. And then here we go. So that's a 9, right? That's karmic endings. They can be very intense. You've got major lessons to learn, but you're just on the cusp of finishing them off and letting them whoosh away. And then you've got 10 of Wands here, which is, this is your mind card. So 10 of Wands it's tens, right? It's a new beginning. It's fresh starts. And this is always kind of that, like, a little bit lost in the forest kind of business of, like, you're in the muck, it's dark, you don't have a flashlight, it's super moonlight, but you can follow to that light even though you're a little bit lost and messy. 10 of Wands is that you're carrying burdens in the wrong way. They're burdens that aren't yours, or that you just need to lay down, quit carrying them, or you need to go, okay, so this is always where I feel like the 10 of Wands is your baggage, right? So you can either be like dropping luggage and tucking one under your arm and throwing one over your back and kicking one down the hallway, or you can get really efficient with all your you know what and put it in gorgeous luggage that you love on a really efficient, really rolly, and then you've got the bag that slides over the rolly, and so everything's nice and neat. You know what SHIT you're carrying around, right? We all have baggage, okay? But is it really yours? Are they your things? Are these yours, or are these somebody else's? They handed them or forced them on you, and you had to carry all this junk in this baggage. Man, these go together. Okay, so here we go on this baggage route in your mind. Like, usually it's a lost in the forest kind of thing. You've got burdens that you're carrying. You need to understand, are they yours, or are they not yours, which perfectly goes in line with your body. So this is a wellness reading. This is about your fitness and your wellness and your health and how you show up in the world. So you need to really, in order to get the goods in your physical body, you're gonna have to address these mental burdens and what you've been carrying around. I don't even know that those things are yours. Somebody told you had to carry them, and you've been doing it for 38 years, 42 years, 50 years. Who knows? Drop it. The burdens that are not yours, put them down. If they are yours, then you've got to learn from them or just repack them prettier, more efficiently. Carry them around. Be honest that those are your dark sides and that's the shadow self, and we all have to deal with that. Okay, now that I went into all of that, it actually came out in reverse. So I wanted to explain what, the Ten of Wands typically is. It was in reverse, which to me means you are addressing these burdens, that you're sorting through them. You're not quite sure which is yours and which is somebody else's, but you are looking at it in your mind, and you're just on the cusp of this new beginning. And again, this is the holiday, so very intense time, and we're almost into the new year. 2017 adds up to a 1, which is a fresh start and a new beginning number. So this is the time to be sorting through this. It also gets very emotional around this time of the year because of the holidays and family interactions. Oh, that was itchy. Okay, I gotcha. So, when you're around more of your family, you get this like, ugh, sometimes, like, they have been telling me this since I was 2. It's time to stand up and go, I'm a grown-up. You don't have to say it to them, but in your mind, when you're cleaning things out and repacking your baggage to get ready for this new adventure and this fresh start and your pretty luggage that you picked out yourself this time, you gotta go, it's not mine anymore, and I don't need to carry that. That's making me tired. Drop it and move on. That's their junk, okay? So then in your spirit is the Hierophant. And again, it came out upside down. I'll tell you the right way this time in the beginning. But the Hierophant it's a 5. It's usually a teacher, and typically of a spiritual nature, but it doesn't have to be. So somebody that really starts to hold you, or really starts to lead you in the direction of, the divine and the mystic. So the raven or blackbirds, are often thought to be an omen of bad luck, and I love them so much. I almost had 2 of them tattooed on my arms because the perception, right? Your perception is your reality often. That they're highly intelligent birds. They're often, very thought of in mysticism and magic, that they're bearers of divine messages, and they're very intelligent. And so, the key to things is to have a teacher in this divine messaging and start to understand how things work together. This was your spirit card. So where are you in your spiritual practices and your spiritual connection? Prayer, journaling, meditation, like these are the biggies. It did come out upside down. So when they're in reverse, again, I do these as more of intuitive readings, like what's coming to me for me to share with you all, instead of like what's always been said and what it always means. These are just I think you've chosen a teacher, or I think you might have chosen a teacher, or you're interested in a certain teacher, but you're kind of hanging on the edge a little bit, like, this just sounds like a bunch of hooey, like making wishes, So I just think you need to have more faith in the spiritual side of things. It's not an aspirin, it's not a Band-Aid, it's not that kind of magic, okay? It's the kind of like miracles, right? That things really do come out of nowhere sometimes, but it's based on your vibration and how you present yourself in the world. And honestly, I know some people may not agree with this, but how long you've practiced, like how dedicated are you to it? How much, goodness and magic have you stored up in that bottle? Have you just started and you're doing, I am not patronizing it. Have you just started a practice and are just doing those 2 minutes every couple of days? Better is better. I'm huge on doing something, instead of doing nothing, because it all adds up in the end. Or are you super anchored and have been for months or years of like a ritualistic practice of lifting yourself out of the muck and mire and finding that balance between intuition, intellect, and love, meaning earth and spirit and divine. So your spirit says, I'm interested, I know, I hear you that I need a teacher, and I hear this practice, and maybe you can be a teacher to yourself, just by practicing. But you're a little on the fence with it. If you're carrying the key to things upside down, it's made out of metal, it just might drop you down. But if you can rest on the key of knowledge, you get to fly and see upright. Yeah, okay. So I just want to show you these all in a row, which I don't usually do this either, but they're dark. okay? But the beauty of yin and yang, right? There's light and dark, and there's black and white, and they've got a little of each in each one, is that the two of them together create perfect balance. You cannot have one without the other, right? Comedians are some of the saddest people in the whole world, which is what makes them funny, because they can understand the counter side of how like painful life can be, but then how bright it can be. So when you're in the dark stages, the beauty of that is you get into the muck, because getting into the mess is how you understand where things come from and what you're working with. Really, if you can clean out that mess and sort it, put it in, you know, beautiful like luggage that's more ergonomically correct, let go and kill off the stuff that's not yours anymore, then it literally works like a buoy that lifts you up farther into the light. So dark cards are fascinating because they denote a shift and a change, and that, you know, what's after the darkness? The light, okay? So we've got one unicorn card to pull for each day. Last time I had 3 of them flying out. Let's hope that doesn't happen this time, but you know what? It does. They've got messages for us, then we want to hear them, and the more messages they can give us, the better. So really, I should embrace the days they throw cards at me. When I do my own readings, I don't even often have to lay cards out. They literally fly out one at a time. I go, oh, okay, cool. So what is your unicorn today? I love the unicorns because they are sparkly, they are magic, they are this combination of intellect and fantasy, right? So that you've got to be a workhorse in the world and live in the physical world, but they've got this gorgeous spire out the crown of their head, which is really a manifestation of their third eye and their intuition. So although, you know, unicorns have had this like really fun hip upswing, they're such a beautiful symbol, right? Let's all be unicorns. Let's all be grounded in reality and have an incredible experience in this physical plane, but sprout that divine, you know, intuition and intellect and sparkly magic energy. More of that, please. Here we go. Well, there you go. Believe in yourself. See yourself doing well, and you will. I just love how these come together. I really do. It's so, like, such a pleasure. It's so fun. I hope you all get so much out of this. So, you know, you've got, I see this one as like, you know, your older, wiser self speaking to your younger self. And we get to do that every day. You know, this whole like idea of embracing your inner child. Well, that little one that we've been taught to is always here. So we've got to start talking to them nicer, because that's always really what's functioning in the world. So believe in yourself, which is wonderful here, because this is, you know, what is yours, what is not yours, what was given you, and what are these ideas that, like, you know, there's a lot of self-doubt here, right? This is self-deprecating, this is self-punishment, really, and really not thinking that you're worthy or that you can fly in your physical body. This second one is, you know, that this is, are these your burdens and beliefs and paradigms, or are these somebody else's that they handed off to you? And then you're in the market for a teacher, but you're not sure if you're buying it yet, right? And so then it comes along and says, believe in yourself. Believe in what you know to be true for you. Things are not true for everyone. They're just not. We're all at a different stage in evolution. We're all in a different stage in our life, in years, in experience, in wants and wishes and empathy and understanding. Not everybody's in the same place. So as you evolve and you get to a higher space of, you know, higher energy and vibration, it is our job and our goal to continue to help ourselves, right? When you know better, do better. And then once we're doing better, you got to turn around and help somebody else. So first things first, you got to take care of you. I'm huge on the oxygen mask, which is why I teach, you know, body, mind, and spirit. And you've got to evolve yourself first before you can be of any use to anybody else. And when you do that, you change the face of the world automatically. If you shine brighter and more sparkly, guess what? That's how you show up in the world. And that is like somebody plugging in a light, plug in another light, plug in another light, until the whole globe's lit up. So believe in yourself, start with you, talk to that inner child, see what burdens are yours, see what paradigms are really yours, or what did somebody just, you know, unknowingly hand off to you in a way that was too heavy, too early. Okay? So if you want to work out with me, check out the link, become a member at the site. And then if you had, please, like, comment, and share. You can't ever spread too much goodness in the world or help somebody else on their journey. And who knows who this will be an omen, a message for that will help them in their path. I love you all so very much. Please have a wonderful holiday. Thank you for being here for this reading, and I'll see you next time.